She's our host here, so can we give a quick round of applause to all the volunteers and organizers here in Idaho to make this possible? And your team, the people who are going to keep the coffee flowing today, so be nice. Please be friendly and nice to everybody. They're doing their best. Nancy has a couple of announcements for you, so I'm going to turn it over to her real quick.
Hi everybody, just a couple house rules, so that we're borrowing this place for the weekend and we need to, I promised we would take good care of it. First of all, our big coffee machine is broken, so we're making coffee with a lot of little pots. Please be understanding about that, okay? All right, house rules. We have this ground floor and we have the whole first floor. At the bottom, the stairs going up to the next flight of stairs has a rope across it. Don't go up the next stairs.
Don't go up those stairs.
Okay, so we can use all of these. There are toilets here, and there are toilets on the next floor up there. You can use those. This is an historic building, so they've asked us whenever we're moving furniture to pick it up and move it. Don't drag it. They're not allowed to seal the floor, and so that's why. And finally, there's a whiteboard in this conference room. All the conference rooms are on that next floor up. There's a whiteboard. It looks like a whiteboard. It's not a whiteboard. I put a sign on it. Do not write on that. They have flip charts and they have a beamer you can use or a projector you can use, but don't write on the whiteboard. And I think that's it.
Not a whiteboard.
Don't write on the board that's white up there. Got it? There's a sign on it. Okay. Thank you, Colin.
Thanks, Nancy. I just also wanted to tell people, if you didn't already, find it when you get your coffee mugs. If you want to wash them, there's facilities to wash them in here so that no one has to drink out of an unfresh cup. Everybody should have on their seats a fantastic new tote bag that we designed that really shows you where we're at as a country committee. There's been a lot of growth. We have a lot of chapters and precincts, but there's a lot of places where we can still expand. We have people in these cities and we want to reach out to them, and so it's a little bit of a celebration, but also a reminder that there's a lot of work that we can still do as a country committee. Inside your bags was a folder that includes the agenda of the meeting, so if you have any questions about when things are happening, we're going to do our best to stick to the schedule today, and I ask everybody to just cooperate with that. So I'm gonna, I already welcomed all of you. Nancy gave her address, and I'm just gonna do a quick summary of our officer reports. So our chair, Owen Jappin, is still in the United States. He couldn't be with us today. And I'm just gonna quick read the text that he wrote and let you know what. So this is just really like where we've been for the last year, what's going on. So Owen wrote, since the inception of this XCOM on March 31st, 2017 at the annual meeting in Berlin, DA Germany has expanded its membership base by 1,100 net members, registering a current total of 9,766. We're gonna break 10,000 in 2019. We have also enjoyed, yes, good work everyone. We have also enjoyed more than a 40% uptick in our Facebook following, currently totaling 2,348 followers. If you're not a follower of us on Facebook and you're on Facebook, then please go join. Democrats About DA Germany, DA/DA Germany. Also, your chapter has a Facebook page. If you're not following that, please become a fan of that as well. There's lots of stuff going on Facebook if you're not following us. The growth of the organization is a testament to the hard work put in across geographies of Germany and the functions of our committee. Each event, email, communication, and program produced in DAG lend itself to the cultivation of new members and, most importantly, activated overseas Democratic voters. Blue Wave 2018! It was a pleasure to work with so many talented volunteers who honed their areas and demonstrated nothing but dedication and fervor. I am grateful to them for the endless time and passion they've given our group and cause, and for inspiring me to always strive for improvement. As a midterm election year 2018 saw much activity through its chapters, caucuses, and Get Out the Vote campaigns, all of which are detailed. No! This went out and the computer died. Oh, it came unplugged. Hillary Unplugged, yeah, sorry. So I don't have Owen's speech memorized. I can move on to a quick one of my own, and then we'll come back to Owen. Technical difficulties, please stand by. I know, but it's not. As that happens. I really enjoyed working with everybody over the past year. Our country committee is the third largest in all of DA, and our leaders are the leaders of Democrats Abroad International. We have people who lead the Global Design Team, the Global Black Caucus, the Global Women's Caucus, IT team. Is there anyone? Yes, the ERA movement that's going on within our DPCA globally. All of those people show up at these meetings, they show up at our leadership retreats, they show up at international meetings, at regional meetings, at a never-ending series of online meetings and telephone calls. People are putting in hundreds and thousands of hours, and so I'm really glad to be working with all of you, and I'm so proud of all of the work that you have been doing and will continue to do. So thank you to all of you. I was privileged enough to attend the regional meeting in Madrid and also the international meeting in Japan. And our country committee is always the largest group after the host committee. That's the dedication that people are showing. Okay, I'm back on mic, so I'm going to go back to Owen, and then we can come back to my thoughts again. So, sorry about that. Right. The success of our country committee was also facilitated by over 30, so he has the same thoughts as me, over 35 leaders and members who support our Sustaining Donors initiative. If you don't know about that, we're going to talk about it later. Grossing over 2,300 euros per year. Since 2017, the average donation is just over 5 euros per donor per month. Anybody can join. Through sustaining and one-time donors to the country and chapters, we were able to roll out a fleet of tablets to register voters live at events and activities throughout the year, setting the bar for our country committee peers around the world. In conjunction with the DPCA, DAG hosted an Oktoberfest celebration for the 10th year in a row, with 120 visitors from across Europe. Proceeds generated roughly 1,700 euros. Thank you, Munich chapter. CSDs were held in almost all 12 chapters, with most chapters holding multiple events throughout their precinct areas. So thank you to everybody from Owen. Okay, then I'm going to transition to here. Our first stop in 2018 was the Hamburg AGM. That's a lot of faces who are here were at that meeting, and I'm glad that all of you are still with us. It was a great meeting, and election years are a hard year, and there's a lot of work, and so I really appreciate that all of you put all of that in. We organized that meeting. We organized monthly XCOM calls with our large XCOM. We attended international meetings. We planned a big retreat of our leaders to really keep things moving and to make sure that our Get Out the Vote efforts were as phenomenal as they were. You're going to hear about that later from our GOTV coordinator. We worked really hard this year to make sure that our chapters and precincts had the resources that they need, whether that be the merchandise that you see outside, which is for sale. Please, everyone, think about family members at home who might be dying for a kicking ass tote bag, or we really make a lot of great merchandise that you can't get in the United States. It's totally unique. People don't even know that Democrats Abroad is an equal thing, so wear your merch and share it with everyone else. But we also just making sure that everybody had these, the technology that we needed to do registrations on the ground, even just the tables that we need and the stools that we need to sit on. We have been working for months to plan this meeting with Heidelberg, and we're hoping that it's going to be fantastic. I spent a lot of time reaching out to voters internationally and also within our country committee at the crunch time before the midterm elections. I was working about 18 hours a day as a volunteer online, chatting with people from all over the globe and also in our own committee. We did, for the first time, an SMS texting campaign of members that we hadn't heard from, and we reached hundreds of people who in the last 2 weeks were still able to cast ballots because they hadn't been reading their emails or they were just too busy doing other things. So we were able to mobilize people. That was a huge success. Our XCOM represents, and also our chapter chairs and such, represent DHE in the media, nationally and internationally. That was something that we were all involved with this year. Thank you. Right. Ron wrote a report that mentioned that right now our balance is around 15,000 euros in our euro account. We have almost $150 in our US account. Right, and a lot of that money that's in there is going to go out with the payments of the AGM. Andrea Schwab, who's our secretary, who is coming but is not here yet. She was really responsible for taking some excellent minutes on all of our XCOM calls so that all of our leaders who, if for whatever reason they couldn't attend a meeting, could keep current on what was going on. And she's very active at the Berlin chapter level. So we're glad to have her too. So that's the report. There's a complete version of that to read. There's 3 copies of it, and I'll make sure that they're distributed. I'll probably put them on the tables upstairs so that if you want to read through everything, and it will also be part of the minutes of the meeting, but I didn't want to take too much time just for those. So now we're going to move on to introduce our newly elected chapter chairs. We expanded in 2018 from 10 chapters to 12 chapters because our what was once the NRV chapter broke into 3 distinct areas that had kind of been functioning as precincts, all became chapters. So we enlarged our number that way, and then we just had elections at every chapter level. So we have we have an exciting mix of experienced leaders and new people stepping up for the first time. We're going to give everybody a chance right now to give a report on what happened in their chapter in 2018. And the first chapter is Berlin. So Diego, would you like to come up here? Hey, Diego.